Frost as a cameo option for Mileena gives her screen control spacings where she typically has none, along with some other utility that we'll discuss throughout the video. The Frost cameo gives no health increase or decrease, so you have Mileena's baseline health of 1000. All of her moves are summoned, so no ambush utility, but that makes sense considering the rest of her toolkit. First, let's discuss Snowflakes, a slow-moving, 60 damage projectile that's plus on block and freezes on hit. With a startup of almost 70 frames, just over 1 second, it requires deliberate setup most of the time. The startup, however, can be cancelled with the down-down input. Doing so will still take Kameo meter, but it will start regenerating immediately and much faster than normal. The plus frames on block vary according to distance. Point blank is nearly plus 40 and max distance is over 160 frames of advantage. Midscreen, set it up safely from your typical meterless combo. Forgo the combo ender and instead summon the orb immediately when you hit the ground after the air ball roll. You'll sacrifice around 45 damage, but the threat of orb will be in play. Your follow-up will be determined by your opponent's reaction, or even lack of reaction. If they stay in place blocking to respect it, dash up for pressure, or even throw them into it. You could even risk a ball roll or teleport to catch them walking and not blocking. If a ball roll is blocked, they can still be frozen trying to punish, or you end up with plus frames if they don't dare punish and block the orb instead. If the ball roll hits, they're knocked into the orb. If a ball roll catches them backdashing, they'll just need a little nudge into the orb. Up teleport will knock them over the orb, unfortunately. But if they wake up backdashing, it'll knock them into it. Teleport is, of course, death on block, and the orb doesn't have a range to save you from getting punished by any sort of move that doesn't keep the opponent in place. In my experience, people are just going to walk back away from the orb, and the chances of tripping them up with a ball roll or teleport are not very good at all. To set this up in the corner, do a jump kick into air ball roll. The jump kick must be immediate, as you want them as high in the air as possible, with Mileena as close to the ground as possible. This has really tight timing. If mistimed, the opponent can simply just wake up buttons to punish you. Practice this against Liu Kang's 6 frames standing 1. Also keep in mind that armored and invincible wake-ups will always beat this setup, but you can always bait it out by canceling the orb. When your back is to the corner, also use jump kick into air ball roll. In my testing, it still gives the most hit advantage at this close of a distance. You'll want to do the jump kick later than the previous setup. Because of the change in animation, it's actually quite a bit later. And if for some reason they try to avoid the orb by jumping out of the corner, they'll get frozen in the air. You can convert on this by using your normal up teleport B&B, only just starting with the jump 1-2-2. Ice Karpet is a 20 damage full screen low combo starter or extender. This is a great movement check and a threat from anywhere on the screen. It also gives potential overhead low mix-ups with the second hit of 1-2 or the second hit of 3-4. At 26 startup frames, this is an easy fuzzy block if the opponent is expecting it, so don't be too predictable. Standing 3 is a high followed by an overhead, but the high can be gelled from the hit advantage you get from a down 4. On a successful mix, you have enough time for a jump-in punch, but the extra hit will actually scale the combo and net you less damage, so skip it. As a combo extender, it does obviously still scale the damage, but it will still net you more damage on your meterless B&B from ball rolls since you get the additional hits. But you will do less damage for a meter conversion due to the scale. If you're going to use Ice Karpet as a combo extender, keep in mind that it won't naturally combo from forward 3-4, forward 2-4, or the second hit of forward 1-4-4. For full screen, you have enough hit advantage to dash all the way in and still convert. But just to show you how much time you actually have, I'll wait until Frost leaves the screen before I even start dashing. This is well after the time that you can start to move. This is also just me doing regular dashes, no enhanced movement from dash blocking. If you happen to lose time due to a trade, you can still do a raw EX up teleport. Ice Krash is a 60 damage mid with a range just short of round start distance. Use it as a mid poke and neutral to give Mileena a safe presence where she normally has none, or as a special cancel from block strings. It's +4 on block, but the pushback will vary from character to character. For example, against Baraka, it's forward 4 range. And against Rain, a forward 4 will whip. Anytime this is used as a special cancel from a block string, there will always be a gap big enough to armor through, with standing 3 and forward 3 being exceptions. With that considered, this isn't a terrible option to cancel into after a block string or even as a counter poke after down 4 against some characters. If it catches the opponent trying to take their turn, it's a plus 45 knockdown and leaves you around jump distance. Dash up afterward for your typical Oki. Frosty's Revenge is a 5-hitting move totaling just over 90 damage if all hits connect. On block, it does nearly 63 chip damage, which is great for low health scenarios, especially final round situations where last breath may save the opponent. At 30 startup frames, it will always have a sizable gap when special canceled. Unlike Ice Krash, armor's not required to punish the gap. Every gap is big enough to actually poke through, and it won't even naturally combo from a lot of strings. If blocked, you're only -1 with a spacing that's just about the max range of a jump-in kick, sometimes further if the preceding block string had pushback itself. 1-2 for example. On hit, you're full screen with 29 frames of advantage. Frost runs off the opposite side of the screen pretty quickly, so you can almost immediately ice Karpet afterwards, if that's something that you want to do. I especially like Frost for heavy zoning matchups like Shang. Find the opportunity to use the freeze to stop their game and get yours started. The orb is an additional factor to worry about in the heat of the match, if you can get it set up. Ice Krash is a great tool that's useful just outside of the effective range of Mileena's normals, and Frosty's Revenge has its own utility in chip damage and enforced space. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something.